Hello beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a very interesting video. It's the first video in a series that we're doing for February. A little tidbit, I don't actually like Valentine's Day. I know, some people love it, some people don't. Listen, it's just personally not my thing. But in honor of me being a newlywed and in honor of February being my first Valentine's Day married, we're gonna do a love series. This video, big question: is waiting for marriage worth it? This is coming from a mid-20s woman who waited until 24 once she got married to I will go ahead and say, if you are related to me, please, this is your cue to exit. I don't want you to watch this video. And also a little disclaimer to come with that. If you are, this video is made for people who are waiting. If you are not waiting, this video is in no way, shape, or form intended to shame you, intended to judge you, intended to make you feel any sort of way. This video is for the young men and women who want to wait and who want to know if it is worth it. Sometimes it's a long journey and it's hard to know, and you got a lot of things going on and you don't really want to waste your time with it if it's not worth it, right? I've made a handy dandy pros and cons list, and I'm kind of honest about it. So we're gonna jump in. It'll be fun. So I'm gonna start with the cons. I have 3 cons. The first being, when you get to your wedding night, it's awkward. Neither of you know what you're doing. It's awkward. It's awkward at first. It gets better. Hang in. Hold on. Okay. Number two. For the female, in case you didn't know, which you probably did, but I'm just gonna go ahead and reiterate this, it's painful. Not like unbearably painful, but like it's definitely uncomfortable. And I equate it to working out, which is gonna sound like a weird analogy, but stick with me for a second. So like if you go to the gym, right, and you start working out your arms, the next day your arms are really gonna hurt. It's not going to feel comfortable for you to like lift up your purse or like do something, right? It's not gonna feel normal or comfortable or at all natural at first, because it's not something you've ever done before. So just a heads up. But in the same way that in working out, you know, over time, your arm muscles get better, you get stronger. Same thing here. Just takes time, takes practice, which, you know, if you've been waiting, you'll be married anyways. Number 3, there is room for error without proper communication. What I mean by that is you can definitely hurt your partner, or your partner can hurt you, or you can hurt each other's feelings, or whatever the situation is, if you are not going, hey, that hurts, or ow, that's uncomfortable, or here, I can't do that. Like, if you're not communicating that to your partner, you can't get mad at them when something isn't changing. Communicate. It's like the number 1 thing everybody tells you to do, but honestly, communicate, especially during that. But moving on to my pros of waiting for marriage. So number 1, they're your person. They're your person. Nobody knows you like they do. You know them like nobody else. It's a beautiful relationship, and it's a beautiful way to start your marriage. It's intimate, not just in a physical way, which isn't obvious, but it's intimate in a way that I love him and know him and trust him more than anybody. more than myself sometimes. They are your person. Number 2, you trust them with everything. I used to think that even before marriage, like I would think, even in an engagement, I would say I would trust Austin with my life. Like I would trust him with everything. Before marriage, because we waited, I didn't know what that meant. Not really. I don't trust anybody in comparison to how I trust Austin. Like, I trust Austin completely. I trust him to see me and love me in such a vulnerable position, and to love me anyways. Whatever that looks like. However that looks like that day. I can trust that we can be intimate together in a way, and then the next day when I've got pimple cream on and my hair's a mess and I've got my dragon breath coming out, I know that he's gonna smile and say that he still loves me. He might be annoyed with me and go, ugh, get a breath mint. But I trust him to be there. I trust him to stay consistent because I am. That's what we committed to. That's what marriage is. You commit to stay through the hard things. I mean, like actual hard things, not just dragon breath, but you know, you get my point. So, number 3, and this is for those waiting to weighing if it's worth it or not, right? If you are waiting, that doesn't cloud your judgment in dating. It doesn't. You don't have to weigh decisions based off of that. If they're treating you horribly, you get to look at them and say, bye. If they're not treating you right, you know it. Your judgment isn't clouded. And I'll tell you, if you are wanting to wait and you didn't wait before and you're worried what your partner will think about you bringing it up and all of that, I'm just gonna say this. If you're worried about all of that, you are worth waiting for. Whoever you are, wherever you are, young, old, whatever the situation is, you are worth waiting for. And if your partner does not think so, they're not your right partner. They're not who God has for you. Plain and simple. So it doesn't cloud your judgment, and it's nice because you get to actually like make sound decisions and know that they're the person you're supposed to marry before you marry them. Which is nice. Number 4, which is piggybacking off of my number 1 con. It's weird. It is. But it's kind of fun and it's kind of funny. You get to kind of like pick fun at each other in a way that like nobody else gets to pick fun at each other like that because they're not intimate like that with you guys. Not in a way that like you compare certain things or stuff like that, but in a way that's like, okay, a little bit of an insight here, okay? Austin has a hairy chest. I love that he has a hairy chest, but he's bald. And so I always kind of pick at him that like, homeboy is like Sasquatch everywhere else but the top half. And so like, that's a for example, okay? I wouldn't put this joke in here if he wasn't okay with me sharing it, but it's a way of like, you know that that person doesn't mean you malice, you know that person doesn't mean you harm, and you get to joke and laugh with them in a way that only you two get to do. You see what I'm saying? And number 5, it brings you peace. Genuine, authentic peace. That truly, I think, only comes from waiting for marriage. And I mean that. Even my friends will tell you, I am more grounded now. I am more myself now. It is a different kind of peace. I don't even know how to explain it to people that aren't married. Like, I've had friends ask me like, oh, what's it like to be married? Like, you know, you're married, yay, what's it like? And truly, the best way that I can put it is, I feel safe with someone in a way that I felt safe with no one. Not a single person makes me feel as safe as he does. It's beautiful. It's exactly what I needed. God is so kind. God is so good. And caring to bring me this man. So, to answer the big question, is waiting for marriage worth it? In my opinion, as a woman who waited until 24, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth waiting for 100 times over. I would wait. If I knew now what I knew then, I never would have dated anybody else. Now, obviously, I knew who I was supposed to marry, but like, I never would have dated, period, until I felt more ready. I never would have kissed anybody prior to marriage. So if you're like waiting to kiss somebody until the altar, that's not an unrealistic thing. Wish I could give him all my kisses. Every kiss that I've given to somebody else, I wish I could have given it to him. Essentially, if you are waiting for marriage, I applaud you. Know that you're not alone. You're not the only unicorn on the planet, okay? Literally, I was the cheerleader of that team for so long. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it, and I think that if that is something you're aspiring to do, you can do it. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful. If you did, and if it was, like and subscribe down below, and I will catch you in next week's video. Bye, guys.